What's up, you guys? Today we're going to be talking about Lele Pons. But before we get into the video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and also comment in the comment section below, letting me know who you want me to talk about next and what your opinions are on this video. The first thing we're going to talk about is how she cares way too much about her social media following. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is these two clips of these girls who've had bad experiences with Lele. Now, these experiences are alleged, they can't really be proved, but a lot of people have had similar experiences, so I think it's safe to say that they're telling the truth.
One day we were at a meetup for Viners. Ugh, I know. I don't know who I used to be. And after the meetup, usually a group of us would like break off from the rest and go to Cheesecake Factory, which was like right across the street, to go have lunch and I don't know, talk about shit. So I went up to Lele. I'll never forget. It was her 18th birthday. I went up to her and I was like, oh, happy birthday. Do you want to come to Cheesecake Factory with us? And I shit you not, this bitch, she looks at me and she's like, well, you're the famous one, so you decide. What does that even mean? Like, she's so weird. I mean, I know she's got a weird sense of humor, okay, because I don't really get her style of comedy. No shade, it's just not for me. So maybe she thought that was a joke, but she didn't laugh. She just kind of like looked at me after and I was like, I'm uncomfortable. I want to go away now. But anyway, I just chuckled and was like, oh, okay, I'm just and then I left. We went to Cheesecake Factory. She ended up coming and my brother Joey went up to her because he hadn't met her yet. He goes up to her face to face, like, you know, like how humans meet. And he said something along the lines of like, oh, I don't think we've met yet. I'm Joey. No shit. She looks at him with a blank stare and then just stares off and walks away. He didn't take offense to this, but it was really awkward and weird. And I don't know if she just doesn't know how to human with other humans that aren't famous on the internet, but that was like super fucking rude. And then the other experience that I didn't personally have with Lele, but you know, I got friends all around Miami, okay, boo, I don't know who you think you messing with. Seriously, I was born and raised here, so the chances of me knowing someone in Miami or knowing their cousin's cousin is huge, okay? And then Miss Lele comes in, I don't know who she thinks she is, goes to a nail salon in Brickell that my friend works at. And that was around the time where she had just passed me in followers, which I didn't even realize because I stopped checking Vine like 4 years ago. Nor do I care if someone passes me in followers. Like, what?
The first thing I'm going to mention about this first clip is the fact that Lele clearly thinks that people who have higher following have higher status. She references Jessi, the girl in the video, as the famous one, and saying that since she's the famous one, she has the right to all decision making. Now, I don't know what was going through her mind, but this is such a stupid statement because obviously if she's inviting you to go out with her, then she's obviously decided that you can come. What kind of unnecessary comment was that? Now we're going to talk about how weird she acted at Cheesecake Factory. So obviously Jessi's brother was just trying to be nice and introduce himself, and the way she responded just irks me, honestly. And I understand that some people can be having a bad day, but that's honestly not an excuse, at least in my book. The world doesn't revolve around ourselves, I guess. Just because we're having a bad day doesn't mean we have the right to treat everyone else like shit, honestly. Now, let's also say that she wasn't in a bad mood and she just thinks that she's better than people who aren't Vine famous, I guess. And if you can't have a decent conversation with a regular human being who isn't Vine or internet famous, then there's honestly something wrong with your head. Nobody non-famous deserves to be disrespected just because they don't have a big following.
I found out like a month and a half ago that she was deleting all of my successful videos on Instagram and on YouTube and putting my account on private and tagging me in photos. And I wouldn't even dream or think for a second of it being her. And then when I was playing charades with her one day, she got up and I look over, and this was like end of July this happened, and I look over and then she has my phone in her hand and I thought she was just Snapchatting, and I was like, wait, that's my phone. And I didn't even know she knew my passcode. And then she's like, yeah, I'm Snapchatting for you. And I'm like, that's really weird. She never does that. And then I went on my Instagram and looked and my photo was gone. So I didn't say anything, but at that moment I kind of knew it was her. And I just went up to my apartment, and the next day I call her. I'm like, Lele, did you delete my photo? And she was like, no, Amanda, I would never do that, blah, blah, blah. I'm your best friend. I was like, okay, like, I hope not, because every time my photos and videos would be deleted, you would be the one that was right by my side being like, don't worry, Amanda, that's so weird. YouTube and Instagram is doing this to you. Good thing I'm your best friend. I'm here for you. That's so crazy. Maybe you should just not post on YouTube anymore. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's kind of discouraging. Like, I don't know why this keeps happening. But anyway, so she came up to my house later that day and was like, Amanda, are you still gonna come to Italy? And I'm like, no, of course not. Like, never. I can't be friends with somebody who deleted my stuff. And she's like, Amanda, I didn't delete it. I'm like, Lele, did you delete my videos? And she's like, okay, I did it. I'm like, why? Why did you do that? And then she said she didn't want to talk about it. And then she said, because she's Latina. And anyways, so she admitted that, and I wasn't going to say anything to anybody. I was just going to not be her friend, move forward, focus on my career. And then she goes and reaches out to her fan accounts because all of them were asking why we weren't following each other. So she decided to secretly go and explain it to them. And then I started to get attacked by all of Lele's fan accounts saying, Amanda's a cunt, Amanda's mean to Lele. And then I was like, you know what? I just need to like clear my name, let the truth out. Like, Lele sent 2 cops up to my house to ask me to take down the post that I did on my Instagram account. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to take down my post. That's me just revealing the truth of the situation. And how, like, she couldn't even ask me. She had to send the police up to my house. Like,
now, this situation irks me even more than the first one, honestly. Like, it just plain pisses me off. Firstly, honestly, because of the fact that Lele obviously can't be happy for her friends and can't be happy if someone else is having success in their life. Let's also talk about the fact that she literally has how many people follow her in her Instagram bio. Like, girl, we get it. You have 18 million followers, and anyone who goes on your page can see that. You don't have to put it in your bio. Now let's talk about the fact that she faked donated her hair. This girl literally pretended to donate her hair for attention. Thirsty much? Lele posted this picture on Instagram of her new short hairdo with the caption, "Donated my hair." Now, firstly, you can obviously tell that her friend is holding hair extensions, and secondly, the rules of donating hair clearly state that you cannot donate bleached hair, and Lele has Now let's talk about the fact that she tries to make it seem like she hit puberty and it did her wonders when she obviously got a nose job. Look at these pictures. If you just Google Lele Pons nose job, these literally come up. And she's even admitted to getting a nose job, but she still posts pictures saying that puberty did her well and to tag 3 friends. It's honestly very cringy. Even I can say that your nose job looks great. It wasn't puberty, and that's still okay. She doesn't have to be ashamed of getting a nose job. Lastly, we're just going to talk about how cringe her Vines and her YouTube channel is. I just went on her YouTube channel and I watched a few of her skits, I guess she wants to call them, and they weren't funny at all. Like, I didn't even smile or smirk or anything. Like, I had a straight face throughout the whole video. So, I don't know who really finds this stuff funny. I mean, I guess little kids might, but if that's her audience, then, I mean, good for her, I guess. Maybe she's making someone laugh. I don't really know what the age range is for her audience, but if it is like 8 or whatever, then I guess she could be making them laugh, but she sure didn't make me laugh. Honestly, her jokes kind of remind me of the Vine days, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And honestly, there's a reason Vine died. And I don't really know if making similar style comedic videos on Instagram is a good route to go, especially showing how unpopular they clearly were considering Vine had to shut down after people stopped using it like 4 years ago. Now, obviously, I don't know Lele personally, so I don't want to make assumptions about who she is as a whole. But what I can do is make judgments about her character or some aspects about her character. She seems to be really wrapped up in fame and numbers and social media and the internet. And honestly, life is so much more than the internet and numbers and social media. Like, go out into the real world, experience real people. I think that she let the fame get to her head. In 10 years, who knows how many people are actually going to care about you? In 10 years, when all your followers are older and starting their own families, they're not going to be catching up with Lele Pons, if you know what I mean. She has to prepare herself for the real world. And when time comes around, and it will come around, when no one will really care about Lele anymore, people are going to be absorbed with their own lives. She needs a plan, a backup plan of what she's going to do after social media. So that's all I've got to say about this topic. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know who or what you want me to talk about next. I'll see you all in my next video.